Good morning, my dear friends. Today we are going to study a new lesson in civics, gender, religion and caste. Here the question arises why we are studying gender. In India, we see that there is hierarchical social division everywhere. Sexual division of labor. It is expected that the woman has to work in the house and she is not paid for it. And the man has to work outside and bring home the money. She does all the work of the house and she is considered that it is her duty to do it. Look after the elders, look after the youngsters and all that. And in some of the places she has to even work and be a financial support for the family also, other than looking after the household chores. It is not the man's duty to do the household chores. It is frowned upon. So now, why is it so? Today the woman, even though she is highly educated, she is expected to do all the household works. And the feminist movements have tried to question this kind of sexual division of labor. We find that, we find women working as scientists, doctors, everything, but still the responsibility, as this picture shows, she may be in the fashion industry, she may be bringing dowry, whatever it is expected that the girl has to bring in dowry, but then the ideal housewife is the one who does all the work of the house. No wonder the proportion of women in highly paid jobs is extremely less, because women, though in the exams the girls perform extremely better than the boys, but still when it comes to higher education, the parents prefer spending their resources on the boys than on the girls. So naturally, in higher hierarchy in the company, you find less number of women than when compared to men. And in the Equal Remuneration Act of 1976, though equal wages have been provided, there has been a rule that equal wages have to be provided, but in some of the unorganized sectors, you find that the women are paid less than their men counterparts. And in many parts of India, parents still prefer a son than a girl child. So when today the government has passed the laws that when the sonography is done, the sex of the child should not be made known to the parents. So infanticide is being followed. Feticide, chalo, it is out of question. Now infanticide is being followed. So where does it leave the girls? Finally, representation of women in the political arena. You do not find many women taking part in politics, because it is considered, it is looked down upon that a woman enters politics. It is an area, halanki in the panchayats, 1/3 of the seats are reserved for the women, but then you find that very few women are also taking part in the panchayat elections. Women organizations are demanding revision of 1/3 of the seats in the Lok Sabha and in the Rajya Sabha for women, but that will take a very long time to see the light of the day. Gender division is a very big example of the social division that needs to be addressed to, and this can be addressed not through laws and all that. This can be addressed only if we as a mass of people decide to bring in a change. Now see, religion. India is a country where we have been practicing various kinds of religion. Now Gandhiji is to say that religion can never be separated from politics, and that's true. Many times religion is used in politics to win votes. Human rights groups have argued that many a times when the communal rights occur, it is the people belonging to the minority community who lose lives and who are at loss of life and property than the majority groups. And even in the family laws also, women do not get their share in the property. It is always given to the sons. Women are considered as a burden. And that's the reason communalism has become such a big, black mark in the way to hindrance to democracy, because the the if see, why does the idea of communalism rise? Why there are communal rights? See, because basically it is that a religious community feels that they are superior to the others. And when this comes to the mind, a communal mind wants political superiority, political dominance or superiority. And when this leads to superiority, that leads to communal violence in many ways, not in one way, not that violence where people are killed. Even sometimes economic independence is also being denied to the people belonging to the minority communities. Now, what is a secular state? India is a secular state because in the constitution no official religion has been described. Saudi Arabia, we have Islam as the official religion. England, we have Christianity. But in India, we do not have a official religion. And that's the reason we call it a secular state. The constitution provides everyone freedom to practice their religion and prohibits discrimination on the grounds of religion. The constitution allows the state to intervene if we find that religion is being used in order to bring about communal discord. So in order to keep equality within the religious communities, the state can intervene. Now, caste in politics, caste inequalities. In our country, scheduled caste, scheduled tribes are being there. They are discriminated. People are discriminated on the basis of caste and creed. And that's the reason Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, we have had great social leaders like Jyotiba Phule, Gandhiji, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Periyar Ramaswamy. All these people tried to bring about equality, but then that has a long way to go. And finally, but this is also because of the urbanization, occupational mobility, caste hierarchy is breaking down. But then when learned young people are moving towards the urban areas and all that, but still in some pockets, even in the mega metropolitan cities, caste discrimination is still being followed. Now in politics, how is caste important in politics? See, today political parties, when they choose their candidates, they keep caste in mind, and they try to keep, especially in some of the northern political parties in northern part of India, they keep their own people, their own relatives, distant relatives also. They give the tickets even to the distant relatives, trying to keep the party in their own hands. And during the election campaign, sentiments are used in a wrong way in order to bring about more votes from a particular caste. Universal adult franchise may have said one person, one vote, and one vote has one value, but then the political leaders, they try to misuse this for their own benefit. But they forget that no parliamentary constituency in the country has a clear majority of a single caste. If they have to win the election, it is with the support of people belonging to different caste. See, no party can win the election votes of all the voters of one caste or community. Many political parties may put up candidates from the same caste, but the voters have more than one candidate from their caste. So while that gets the votes get distributed. Understand? The ruling party or the sitting MLA, MPs and all, they usually lose elections. But this could not have happened if all the caste and communities were frozen in their political preferences. See, caste plays a major role. Caste and religion does play a major role, but the political parties should bring it into their mind that they cannot win with the help of a single caste or with a single religious community. See here, every caste group tries to become bigger by incorporating within its neighboring castes or subcastes which were earlier excluded. Today what has happened, in order to take the advantage of reservation and all that, so the subcastes are grouping together to form one major caste. Various caste groups are required to enter into coalition with other castes or communities and thus enter into a dialogue or negotiation. This helps to rise above this caste politics, which is a dirty politics. New kinds of caste groups have come in the political arena, like backward and forward caste groups, which is again playing the dirty game of politics, trying to gain advantage of the reservation and all that. See, caste does play an important role, but then it should not be used for trying to gain political dominance. See, our country had been a very good example of unity in diversity. I think down the line we seem to have forgotten this maxim. In this lesson, please remember, most of the questions will be general questions. So you have to know what exactly is gender division, communalism meaning division on the basis of religion, caste meaning division on the basis of caste, like scheduled caste, scheduled tribes, kshatriyas, vaishnavas and all that. So again, so please pay attention to the general questions that may come in this lesson. Okay.